and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, then a very big hello. My name is Louise. Me and my boyfriend Jake moved from the UK to Canada. How many years now? Like 4 years? Something stupid like that. Yeah, we've been in Canada 4 years. That is actually crazy. So, as you know, I do very much daily vlogs, travel vlogs. I love to vlog my life. And when I first moved to Canada, I always done little sit down videos like this with like information videos, cost of living, things why I love Canada. And I thought I'd bring back a little series. So recently, I know there's a community of people trying to move over, more so than ever recently. And I've been getting loads of messages on my older videos of like different questions. And they're so old, some of my videos, that they don't even qualify to be information videos anymore. So I thought I'd bring back a little series. I have a few little videos coming up. They're super fun. They're going to be nice and short, about 10 to 15 minutes long videos. But I just want to share some information about moving to Canada, whether it be some little fun things with like things that I've missed since living in Canada, about living in Canada, cost of living, my grocery shop. So like, if you enjoy this sort of content, if you're looking to move from the UK to Canada, or you're already living in Canada and you want to see why a Brit love living in Canada, or you just enjoy seeing the tea behind living in Canada, then make sure you give me a follow, make sure you hit those like buttons. And yeah, I've got a really fun video for you today. Okay, so this one's a super fun one. I'm gonna tell you things I love about Canada, but they're like quirky things, not the norm, little quirky things. So this is things that I love about living in Canada. So number one is drive-through ATMs, so drive-through cash points. Now, when I first seen them, I was like, really? Are people that lazy? They can't even get out of their car to go to an ATM? But what I've realized is that when it's 60 centimeters of snow outside, you don't really want to be trekking to the local cash point to get your money out and getting out the car, turning the engine off, then go into the ATM, turn the engine back on, but it's freezing cold. Anyway, it's a whole palaver in the winter. So I absolutely love that they have drive-through ATMs. And actually, it's saying that there's not that many ATMs about. Like, I know if I'm in England, I go to Asda or Tesco's and there's going to be a hole in the wall where you can get money out. But here, they don't have them in Walmart, they don't have them at Sobeys. Like, none of the grocery stores have a ATM, if you think about it. Oh my God, I've actually never thought of it like that. Like, you have to physically go to a bank to draw your money out, and the drive-through is by the side of the bank. Yeah, the grocery stores don't have ATMs in the window, like on the walls, so you have to physically drive to a bank. And that's what I love about Canada. I think UK should open up drive-through ATMs because they are life-changing. If I quickly need to go to an ATM before work to get some cash out or before an ice hockey game, quickly, bam, 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 in my car, don't even have to get out, lean out the window, boop, 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 it's money and gone. That's my first thing that I love about Canada. Number two is how cheap coffee is. Now, McDonald's do an event, I would say once every 2 months, where it's $1 coffee. So you can go to McDonald's and get a medium coffee and it's $1. But if you go to McDonald's anyway, when it's not even on that deal, or Tim Hortons, you can get a coffee for like $1.25, $1.50, $2 max if you're getting like the large. And that is so cheap. Like, in pounds, you're literally paying like 60p a coffee. And no wonder everyone in North America drinks coffee because it's so cheap. Now, don't get me wrong. If you go to a Starbucks, it's still expensive. I went and got a festive drink the other day from Starbucks and it was $6 for a medium, which is atrocious when you can literally go to Tim's and McDonald's and get one for $1. So I won't be making that mistake again. But I think it's because McDonald's and Tim's have, like you see in the movies, the jug of coffee, like brewed coffee. So they pour it in and it's really quick to make. It's really easy to make. It's not like at home where you've got your cappuccinos, your latte. My first day in Canada, we went to Tim Hortons and we ordered a latte. If you remember that vlog, oh my God, that vlog was so wild. I might try and find it and link it down below. And we went to Tim Hortons and found and asked for a latte, and the lady literally looked like I had 3 heads. And actually, that video, if you go down to the comments, someone who works in that Tim Hortons commented on that video. Because it's not normal. You just go ask for a coffee, you ask for a double, you ask for a triple, you ask for like just one, And what that means is like 2 cream and 2 sugar, 1 cream, 1 sugar, 3 cream, 3 sugars, but it's always with the coffee that's in the jug that they've been brewing. And actually now, since living in Canada, we have our own coffee machine at home and have it brewed, and it stays warm for like 3 hours, so you can like top it up throughout the day. So people drink a lot of coffee here, but it's super cheap, and that's why. Comparison, I flew home in February 2 years ago. When I was waiting for my brother to pick me up, I went over to the hotel to get a coffee, and I paid with my Canadian card. It was just a normal coffee with like 1 milk and 1 Splenda, which is sweetener, and it literally tapped, came up on my account as $8. $8 for a coffee. I am not paying $8 for a coffee ever again. When I go back to England this February coming, I ain't going to Costa and I ain't going to other places to get a coffee. Like, I cannot. If I'm not paying 60p for a coffee, then I'm not gonna drink it, because coffee here is so cheap, and I love it because I run on coffee now. Even though I tried to give it up, it's impossible in North America. I just love it too much. Hey, number 3 of things I love living in Canada: you can turn right at a red light. So if you're sat at a red light and there's no upcoming traffic, I can turn right. So I don't have to wait for the lights. And this is a life changer, a game changer, because I'm no longer sitting and waiting pointlessly when there's no cars. And I think they just need to introduce this at home, like turning left, because it saves so much time. Like, obviously there's hardly any traffic where I live in Canada anyway, because traffic just doesn't exist. Any Canadians, you need to go to England and sit on the M5 and move 2 inches every hour, and you can experience the frustration of traffic. But literally, if I'm sat at a red light now, if I had to think about sitting there even though there's no cars coming and not turning right, that breaks my soul. Like, I love that you can turn right at a red light. If you're with me on this one, please let me know in the comments and just make me feel a little bit better that I'm not weird with this one, because it saves so much time. What I love about Canada is the benefits in work. Now, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I can do a separate video on this about talking about benefits and work in Canada, because it's so, so different. But it's really, really hard to find a full-time job in Canada, because in Ontario specifically, where I live, I don't know about anywhere else, 40 hours, well, a full-time contract, so 32 to 40 hours, entitles you to a benefit plan in Canada. So that's why it's hard, because not a lot of companies like paying out for benefits. But if you're in that full-time job, you can claim benefits, and I highly, highly recommend that you do it. It means that a few dollars go out of your pay stub every 2 weeks, because you get paid every 2 weeks, and it means you have the most amazing benefit plan. So Canada works similar to the UK, where it's like the NHS, but it's called the OHIP. So you have free healthcare, which is amazing. I didn't think that was going to happen coming to Canada. I thought it was going to be like America, where you have to pay. But if you have benefits, you have even better healthcare. So for example, every year, at the beginning of the year, I get given like $1,500 for dental. I get given $500 for opticians. I get $500 for chiropractors. And like, there's this whole list on this app. Like I said, I can do a completely different video on this and just show you my app, I don't care, and how much you've got. And then if you don't use it, you lose it. So you might as well use it. And at the beginning of the year, it refreshes. So my first year of getting benefits, I blew the dental. Like, I don't know why, but a stereotype of British people is that we have bad teeth. Now, I think my teeth are great. I've had braces. I think they're white. I don't think there's anything bad of it. But that first dental, they were like, I can tell you're from across the pond. You've got silver fillings, you've got cavities and all this. So I blew through that 1,500. Now, 4 years in, and I have regular dental work done, my teeth are awesome. And because I have such a big fund, every 3 months I go in and get my teeth cleaned, which is amazing. They proper spend an hour of deep cleaning my teeth, so I do that every 3 months. And then if anything else comes up, like if I want to get them whitened or I want to get braces, I can save up for that and use my benefits for work, which is so good. Also with opticians, I get my eyes test once a year, and then I have $500. Actually, I think I have $300 towards glasses. And if you're someone who doesn't need glasses, then you can actually go get your eyes tested and ask for like the most minimal prescription, and then just get sunglasses like Ray-Bans, and you get it on your benefits. So that's great. Chiropractors, I've been and used chiropractors. I think in my first year of my benefits, I blew all my $500 within the year because I kept going once a week. It was like $50 to go. So I literally did like a 6 weeks plan with them and went to the chiropractor. That's great if you need therapy or anything. Like, I just don't pay for dentists, eyes, healthcare, none of that, prescriptions. I'm good. Their benefits is amazing. Okay, and number 5 is fuel prices. Fuel prices here are so cheap compared to the UK, and actually that's the reason why people can afford to run trucks and big cars and big vehicles. Like Jake said to me the other day, if we even could afford to have a truck in the UK, 1, the roads are too small so we couldn't, but 2, we wouldn't be able to run it because of the fuel prices are so expensive. Now I don't know if they are still expensive. Obviously it's been 4 years since I've lived in the UK, so please let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, but when I was at home it was very expensive to fuel your car, as here it's so cheap. Like today I went to go fuel my car. Well, I didn't, Jake did. I've never put fuel in my car here, and it was $1.32, which is $1.32. And if I look quickly to see the conversion, obviously everywhere in Canada is so different. I know Vancouver's very expensive for fuel too, but here in Ontario, 1.32 is 77p. So 77p a litre is crazy. Like to fill up our truck, which is huge, is $120 every 2 weeks, and we drive a lot, so that's around £70. So £70 to fuel my big truck every 2 weeks, like that is unheard of. Like you wouldn't get that in England. So the fuel prices are a massive bonus because it means that we get to have the car that we want. Number 6 is actually another car one. A lot of these are car related. I don't know why. Number 6 is gonna be no speed bumps. Like my drives are so smooth because there's no speed bumps. It's wild. There's actually no roundabouts. They introduced one roundabout near my work, and the hesitation of it is actually hilarious. Sometimes I like going home that way just so I can laugh at other people, because no one knows how to use a roundabout here, and it's great because they've never had roundabouts. So in your driving lessons they would not teach you how to do it, as that's like a big part of the UK driving test is going around roundabouts. So now they've introduced them and everyone's already passed their tests and no one knows how to use them. It's great comedy. But another thing they don't have is speed bumps. I've probably been down one road in the last 4 years that had them, and that is it. And it's actually crazy. And sometimes when I go down that road, it's in Niagara Falls, I forget to slow down and I like fly over them. But yeah, there's no speed bumps, which is wild as well, crazy. Number 7 is gonna be that you can literally go ice skating for free. So from this time of year, well, I'd probably say December till March, April, you can go ice skating for free. All you have to have is your own ice skates. So I say go to a thrift store and pick up some ice skates that are really cheap. All of like the local wineries, some of them you have to pay for at the wineries, but a lot of them are free. Also, there's like outdoor rinks that come about during this year, like community skates, it's free. Like a lot of Canada and their activities is free, parking free, and it just makes you want to go more outdoors. Like I know in England, when I go to like Cabot Circus, which is our local massive mall in Bristol, you have to pay for parking, as here the parking's free in the mall. Obviously the city's different in Toronto and stuff, but where I personally live, like all parking is free. So when you want to go hiking, it's free to park up. And then when you want to go ice skating, it's free. So like in the evening of a nice snowy night and you want to take a nice skate, a lot of if you're by the woods too, they have like normally like these free skates where you just skate through the woods and it's free. And I love it so much that you can go have a nice night out doing something fun and it's free. And then my last one, my point 8 of things I love about Canada, and obviously I'm gonna be real with you guys, I've not had a proper job in England. Like I was always a performer and dancer, so I've never gone for a proper interview, but every job I've had in Canada, even like little jobs, Obviously this don't apply if you're just a sales associate, but like as a manager, they literally say in the interview, what are you worth? What do you think you should be paid? What's your experience? Like, I remember my first interview when I had that question, when they were like, so what do you think you're worth to be paid? Girl, I'm worth $100 an hour, but I'm not gonna say that to you. But to me, I was like so blown back and so shocked. I was like, they're asking me what I'm worth. So I always a point really high in interviews. I always go more than I really should, but it's because in Canada you can negotiate your wage, and if they're not going to pay you what you want, maybe you can negotiate something else like vacation. Be like, can I have an extra week vacation then if we're not going to meet at my ballpark? And that's one thing I love about Canada. And also, especially here in Ontario, I don't know about everywhere else, but you get a yearly pay rise. So even if you're the worst person at your job, you're entitled to a pay rise, whether that be 1%, they have to pay you. Some companies is between like 1% and 5%. And if you're really bad at your job, you get 1%, but it's still a pay rise. Like, I know people in England that have got proper jobs, who have never had a pay rise, and they've been with that company for like 5 years and never seen a pay rise. As here in Canada, we have an annual talk performance, a one-to-one, and you get a pay rise, whether you're an associate or a manager. And I think that's great because it's making you work that a little bit harder, because you know in your evaluation you can go in strong, and even if they offer you the 1%, you can say, no, I performed great this year. Like, I did this, I trained new hires as just a sales associate. And then they can go back and like look and see if they can get more money out of you, get more money for you. And that's what I love. And even if you're in an interview and they don't match what you want, and the reason I'm saying this too is because people that are moving over from the UK to Canada and have never experienced this, be cheeky with your wage. Like, if there's a company that you really want to work for and you know they have the budget there, you can push that a little bit more. So that is the 8 things, random things, unique things about Canada that I love. So no one in the comments being like, are they the only reasons that you love Canada? No, trust me, there's so much more I love about Canada. The sights, the weather, the hikes, the lifestyle, but they're like unique things that I don't think other people talk about, as I don't want to be just another video that you watch that's exactly the same as the others. Of course, I love the seasons. I love the snow, I love the sun, I love the autumn, I love the spring. Of course, I love the activities, the ice skating, the hiking, the going camping. I love the lifestyle and the people. These are 8 unique things that I think that you guys probably have never heard before. So let me know if you like this video, hit the thumbs up and leave me a little comment too. If you've moved to Canada, something that you love that's a bit wacky and out there, I could probably think of a lot more, so let me know if you want a part 2. But remember, I do have a little series coming up, so make sure you are following, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Where do we go from